Hey guys, it's Tony here at Game Freak Blog again, just bringing you another video. I'm sorry it's been a while since my last video. I think it's been around about 2 weeks. I've just been getting my ass handed to me on a plate by college, as you've probably heard me mention several times before. But now I've broken up for half term. I've got a month off. I am looking forward to this month off so much. I can get some much needed gaming time in, dedicate some more time to my channel, and hopefully chat to a lot more of you guys on Twitter. So basically what I'm going to be showing you today is Golden Axe. Now this is the 3D remake of Golden Axe that was released for the Sega Ages series. Now I know that some of you haven't actually heard of these games, which I'm not surprised because they were only really ever released in Japan. Basically what they did, they brought out a series called Sega Ages, and they remixed a whole load of games, old Sega games for the PS2. There were all sorts of games released. There was Space Harrier, Virtual Racing, Outrun, basically all of the Sega classics really. Hence, when they got released in this country, it was released under the banner of the Sega Classics collection. And they didn't release all of them. I think they only released about 10 games on the actual disc. And there were a load of other games that never saw the light of day in this country. The Sega Ages collection, they had a absolutely stunning conversion of Virtua Fighter 2 on there, and Fighting Vipers as well. I've got both of those on Japanese copies. The single games, they're absolutely stunning. And if you're interested, by all means, let me know in the comment section, and I'll post a video up. I'm probably going to do a few off this game collection, and the first one that I'm going to look at here is Golden Axe. Now the first thing that you can see is it's got a really nice kind of like intro scene, which kind of like sets the pace of the game. It tells you about the Golden Axe in some kind of like old Mayan hieroglyph type way. Now, I can't exactly remember when this game was released on the Sega Ages label. I'm imagining it was probably about 6 years ago or something. Well, it tells you there, 2004. So it's quite a long time ago. And I know that some Golden Axe fans out there might not have seen this, so I thought, sod it, I'll just put it on as a playthrough. So let's press start. I'm just going to go straight in for arcade. So you've got the same characters: Axe Battler, Tyrus Flare, and Gilius Thunderhead. So I'm going to go with Tyrus. So let's press that now. Now, what they did with this game, you'll see as I talk it through with it, it's not just a kind of straight up conversion of Golden Axe. It is in kind of like spirit, if you like. But as you can see right from the offset, they put some massive flashy kind of like attacks. Effects on your sword when you're attacking the enemies, which I do find quite a bit distracting really. You can't really see what's going on. The only plus side to it is because you keep getting swarmed with enemies in this game, you can take on multiple enemies at the same time, and if you press kind of like down, you can hit the people that are below you. So there's a kind of a plus point in there. The negative point, as you kind of saw there, is it's really, really hard to get out of the enemy charge attacks. Whenever the enemies charge you, unless you see it really early, it's so fucking hard to get out. It really, really is. They kind of, the controls are basically the same. You've got your attack button, which is mapped to X. You've got your jump button, which is mapped to circle. You've got like your square button, which is there, which gives you your kind of like special attack, which was just a combination of jump and attack on the original game, I think. But in turning it 3D, it's kind of lost something. The actual control of the game itself is really, really poor. The collision detection's really off. It goes through kind of like canned animation routines that are just a bit of a pain in the bum, because you'll kind of kill someone if they've only got like a slight bit of energy left, and you'll still keep going on through the attacks. And as you can see here, I mean, just look at the animation on that. It just looks like it's kind of like ice skating. The game pretty much follows the kind of same set route as the original arcade and the Mega Drive conversion and whatever did, but it kind of changes it up a little bit. On this very first level, you don't... Oh, fuck off. On this very first level, you just basically fight your way through successive waves of enemies, and that you don't get a boss fight. The boss fight doesn't come until stage 2, and look at the slowdown there is horrendous. You know, all they basically did was kind of like take the original game and just try and tart it up, but they kind of left a bit of the spirit and the soul out of the game. It's still multiplayer; you can still play with a friend, and you know it does add to the fun ever so slightly. But in some places, the game kind of crawls to a halt with just the amount of action that's going on on the screen, and it can't. I mean, look, see that throw there? It's absolutely awful because I was lucky not to get hit there. Excuse me, because sometimes you'll just go through the canned animation routine. Look, and it just leaves you open for an attack just like that. And I mean, I didn't really do that for an example, but I'm glad that it did it there, just so you can see. And it's just cheap. It kind of takes any kind of level of control that you may have out of it. The jump attack, as you can see here, it's not like in the original Golden Axe where you could jump and keep hitting your fire button and do like multiple strikes. You jump here and hit your attack button, and it basically just zooms you into the floor. You can't really get out of it. And let me just try and demonstrate. I mean, it's okay, it's powerful, but it kind of leaves you committed to the move, if you like. You can't really get out of it. As you can see, those enemy charges are really, really hard to escape from, unless you see them straight away. Oh, piss off. Let's get on the ice skating bloody chicken leg again. I mean, look at that animation, it's absolutely awful. I mean, even though it was a port, and I think originally the Sega Ages range of games were budget titles. I think they weren't released at full price. They might have been the equivalent of like £15 to £20 or something in Japan. And the actual series was fantastic. There are some brilliant conversions in there. The Virtua Racing one is absolutely fantastic. There's a stunning 3D version of Alien Syndrome on the game. Alien Syndrome, if you can remember, is that kind of like top-down alien shoot-'em-up game. Pretty much kind of like an alien version of Gauntlet. And the Sega Ages version of it, which is on this disc that I have here, this is the NTSC version of the collection that I'm playing through, because I wasn't sure they were going to release it in this country. So I do have 3 PlayStation 2s, a PAL, American and Japanese one. And yeah, a slight overkill there, but there was a reason for it. Basically, I didn't know that the PAL version was ever going to get released, and rather than kind of buy all of the Japanese versions separately, I just went ahead and got the NTSC one because it had some of the games that I wanted to play. I did end up picking up a few of the other games individually, as I said, Virtua Fighter 2 and Fighting Vipers. I picked those 2 up separately. I'll put those up because they are absolutely stunning versions of it. I mean, the Virtua Fighter 2 is pretty much just the Model 2 arcade board version. It's absolutely fantastic. But look, one of the changes here, you know, you kind of get to the bit where there's usually a gathering around the campfire, the little imps come out and steal your potions and you have to get it back. And this just basically turns into a pointless cutscene. Apart from Tyrus Flair's arse just there, but... Look, I mean, what was the point? I mean, you know, listen to the soundtrack. There's some fantastic remixed versions of the original game soundtracks in there. You know, the game sounds good, and in a kind of way it looks okay, you know, for a budget remix. But to be honest, it's a very, very disappointing port of the game. I really couldn't recommend you tracking it down unless you're an extreme Golden Axe fan, which you've probably got it already, or some kind of Sega completist. It's just, I can't really put my finger on about why it's so bad. It's just there's no soul to it. The animation is absolutely awful. You'd think for such a flagship retro game as Golden Axe, you know, the developers, whoever did the conversion, would have probably put a bit of love into it, but They didn't at all. You know, crappy animation routines, unblockable attacks because of faults in the game, and you know, fucking hell, no game should leave you feeling like you're basically robbed of health or robbed of life or whatever because of a fault of the game itself. You know, fault of the player, that's absolutely fine. Again, I was lucky not to be kicked there, but with it being a fault of the game, no, I just don't have it really. I'm basically going to play this to the first boss fight, and then I'm going to kill it, guys, because you kind of get the drift. By all means, you know, if you want to see any more further levels in the game, let me know, and I'll happily record them for you. But I think you basically get the idea. Just go and play Golden Axe. Play any of the kind of sequels. I mean, not that I was a massive fan of Golden Axe 2, but I'd rather play Golden Axe 2 any day over this. It's just it's just by the numbers. It's shoddy. And it just doesn't play like Golden Axe. It really doesn't play like it. I really don't like. I used to love jumping around and doing the consistent slashing moves and everything, but you just can't do it in this game. It just won't let you do it. I don't think we're that far away from the first bosses now, guys. Yeah, it's just shoddy. What I'll do as well in the if you check the video description out, I will put a list of the other 3D conversions that are in this box set. I'm probably going to upload the Alien Syndrome one anyway, but by all means, if you want to see any of the other games, there's Outrun, Space Harrier, Columns. Fantasy Zone. Fantasy Zone's a pretty good conversion, actually. That's not a bad game. There's some nice little 3D sections in there. Virtual Racing's also pretty spot on. Come on, I just want to get to the bosses. I just want to use my level 6 magic, and then I've had enough. See, it's just I don't know. I don't know what it is. It just needs breaking up. It just seems like they put the flashy sword attack kind of effect in there just because it was on the PS2, just because they could do it. It was an aesthetic rather than any other reason. Look, canned crappy animations. Hate it. And the beasts are just pointless as well. I mean, in the original arcade version, you know, getting on a beast was empowering. You know, if you knew how to use it correctly, you'd be almost indestructible. But on this, it's just they're so awkward and ungainly. It's just not worth getting on the beast at all. I think we are just around the corner here from the first bosses. And look, if they get a charge attack going for you and you try to do a charge as well, they'll always get theirs. There's a sign for Turtle Village. And here we go. Makes me laugh in this version. They both look like Charles Bronson clones. Hey, what are you doing? The character models as well are a bit pish, aren't they? I mean, you would have thought they would have, like, gone to town a bit on them. At least give her a mouth that moves. Mwahahaha. Right, one magic attack later, guys. Couple more sword swipes, and this is going to be it over. You're going to live to regret that. Right, here we go. I must admit that, you know, the magic attacks are kind of well done. Apart from the dragon being a little bit buzz-eyed there, but what can you do? Oh, fuck off. Look! From that shitty throw animation, I died. And there we go. So guys, that's Golden Axe, the Sega 3D Ages conversion. If you've liked it, you know, let me know what you think of the game. If you've got it, let me know what you think. I'll put a list of all of the other games on this disc in the video description. So by all means, if there's something that you want to see on there, just give me a holler and I'll upload that video for you. So guys, Tony from Game Freak Blog, thanks for tuning into this video. And I will catch you again on the next one. Cheerio then guys, bye bye.